Earn, spend, own, owe. 4 simple parameters worth understanding to get your finances in check before committing to big financial goals. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reece, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a chapter in particular from this book here, written by Victoria Devine, called She's on the Money. However, before I get to that chapter, I want to start today's video off with an analogy. I had a discussion with my chief engineer on the same day that I wrote the script for this video, and he used an analogy which I've never actually heard before, but I thought would be fitting to today's topic. It went something like this. Imagine asking someone on a Monday to go into your backyard and dig you a pool-sized hole using nothing but a little hand shovel. And they have to get it done by Friday. You might visit them on the second day of the week, being Tuesday, and notice that they've made some progress, but it's hard work, and they're not overly sure or confident if they're going to be able to get it done by the end of the week. On Thursday, you show up with an excavator and you tell the person that, hey, I've got this awesome tool here. It's going to take about 6 hours to get you trained. It might take a little bit more depending on how capable you are. And that means that on Friday, you might end up getting the job done or you might not. However, if you do the training, then there won't be any more digging by hand. You will now be trained to do the job in a more efficient way using a much more efficient tool, and this can be used for all future holes that need to be dug. And that was the end of the analogy. And I was kind of sitting there like, I kind of get it. Okay, what does this have to do with what I'm talking about? And he elaborated, and he basically referred back to the analogy. He said, most people, they get frightened that if they veer off course by risking doing a 6-hour training to potentially get the job done on time, they don't want to risk it. They want to keep shoveling by hand. It's what they know. They can see where their progress is at, and they think that if they keep going, they're going to get to that end result no matter what. Yes, it will be hard work. Yes, it won't be efficient. Yes, it's going to take time, but they should get there in the end. The reason why he was saying it to me was because I was writing a document that it needs to be heavily reformed, but I was like, let's just get it out this time and we can do the hard work later. It sounds bad. It's not as bad as it is. The point that I'm trying to make is the analogy was fitting because when you come to finance, people fall into the same traps. Finance, I'm relating it back to it now, they often get lost when looking at the end game and not understanding all of the work that has to go into it. The point that I want to make leading towards the end of this video is that when you find efficiencies, you have things under control, you really take a step back, look at what you've got in front of you and put some processes in place to make it more efficient. The benefits over time will be you getting to that end game exactly the same without having to work as hard, without having to save as vigorously as you might be saving now. You might be able to increase your income, which is what I'm going to kind of talk about a bit more about now. But I really just wanted to put some emphasis on it. The analogy was sometimes it's okay to take a break, take a breath, look at your situation as a whole and see how you can make it more efficient before just looking at the end game. Now, this usually occurs when people set unrealistic or challenging goals and they experience or go through the emotional cycles of change. I've actually made a video talking specifically about this topic because it's literally something that every successful person would have lived and battled through many times on or throughout their road to success. I've left a link down in the description below, and it's something that I highly recommend getting your head around. It's a very, very valuable tool to understand. While you're at it, hit that like and subscribe button as well. But just as a quick summary, let me do a quick overview. The first phase of the emotional cycles of change is known as uninformed optimism. Okay, this looks pretty interesting. This is something that I could definitely get into. I can do that, no probs. The second phase is called informed pessimism. Okay, this is way harder than I thought it was going to be. Shit. The third phase, known as the valley of despair. Nope. I definitely can't do this. I'm giving up. I'm done. I'm out. I'm quitting. The fourth phase, informed optimism. This is tough. This is challenging, but I can do it. I can push through. I'm going to get there. And then phase 5, when your hard work pays off, you reach success. 99% of people get caught in the trap of going in circles between the first 3 of the emotional cycles of change. Uninformed optimism. I want to buy a house, but I've never put in place good savings practices and I have no idea how to budget. Informed pessimism. I started putting money away, but it's not growing at the rate that I want it to, probably because I'm spending freely from my bank accounts. Damn, there's a lot of discipline and habit building that needs to go into this. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. The valley of despair. No, this is too hard. My savings just aren't growing. They're never going to grow. I'm never going to be able to do this. I quit. And they go in circles forever. The cycle repeats itself over and over and over. This is known as having shiny object syndrome. Off the top of my head, let's list a few goals and challenges that are pretty common amongst almost everyone, but some that I've heard and seen from within my own social groups. I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to lose 20 kilos. I want to travel for 6 to 12 months uninterrupted. I want to earn 6 figures. I want to buy a property. I want to start a property portfolio. I want to start an investment portfolio. I want to eat healthier. I want to run every day. I want to read every day. That's 10 just off the top of my head. I used to get caught in these cycles. I used to go, yep, I can do this. Oh my God, this is hard. I'm quitting. Yep, I can do this. Okay, this is too challenging. I'm quitting over and over. And then one day I learned to break the cycle. To get the results that I wanted to see, I needed to work hard and understand what I needed to do just to get past that bit of, nah, this is too hard, I'm going to quit. And I eventually did. And now everything I do, I make sure to keep getting to that point of success unless I really dislike what I'm doing. Now, I've really honed in on this because lots of people get caught up in what the end result is going to be, what they want that end result to look like, but don't understand or don't fully comprehend the amount of effort that has to go into getting there. As an example, if you have any type of high interest debt, buying a house is not going to be your priority, or it definitely shouldn't be. Paying down that debt is going to be the first step into a bigger goal that you want to set in the future. Sticking with money as the topic, I want to take it back to basics for people who have big ambitions but don't fully have their finances under control, or they might just be starting out on their financial journey. Mapping out the 4 categories that I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, they're also in the title down below. We'll definitely give you the groundwork required to make plans and changes to your financial situation, which will propel you towards achieving the goals and outcomes that you are wanting to get to with your finances. Starting with earn, write down or build a spreadsheet detailing every single dollar that you are bringing in per month as income. This can be from your wage, a side hustle, investments, commissions, and depending on how lucky you are, potentially even an allowance. From here, write down what you spend. Keep track for a whole month. Take an average if you have to, but get that information based on what is coming out of your bank account. Next is to capture the assets that you own. This can be anything that can be sold for real money in the real world, or anything that produces income passively. A few quick examples would be things like your superannuation, maybe your 401k, investments such as crypto or shares, a property, and potentially even collectibles. And then finally, put together what you owe. This could be things like credit card debts, student loans, car loans, mortgages, personal loans, anything that is applicable to you, anything that you owe. Once you have all 4 of these categories, line them up next to each other and see if you are saving more than you are spending. Are you drowning in bad debt? Do you actually own much of anything that you've taken out this debt to make purchases with? The simplest principle in finance before doing anything, especially for beginners, is to understand this simple concept. Like, it's so dumb, but it is so applicable. Spend less than what you're bringing in. Doing this exercise will allow you to understand where your financial pain points are, which can then allow you to start doing something about them. To summarize, Victoria put it perfectly. She says more income won't solve your problems. If you don't understand how to adapt and change to benefit your overall situation, it's just going to compound the problems you're already facing. Now, personally, I've done this exercise many times before. I do it many times every single year because I love keeping track of things and I love finance in general. I know I'm a bit of a nut when it comes to finance, so be it. There are plenty of others just like me out there. It works for them, it works for me. The point from that though is the information contained within those exercises are scattered throughout all of the videos on my channel. There's plenty of them that definitely cover topics like the one I've talked about today and the exercises of doing those 4 categorizations as well. So I've linked a few down in the description below, which I think might be handy or helpful or relevant to today's video, where you can go and see real world examples of that information being presented on the screen. Feel free to give them a watch if you want to. And if you could, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate the support and it definitely helps the channel grow. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to quickly do that if you did. With that being said, I don't really have anything else for you today. I hope today was insightful. I hope it was something that made you think, and yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. So have a good day, have a good week. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.